lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good morning, everybody. Scott here from the Old Curiosity Shop, and I'm taking you along on a shopping spree. Well, I hope. Haven't done this in a while because, as you know, I've really been selling a lot, but it's a cool, crisp, rainy morning. It's in the upper 50s. It should get into the mid 60s today, and it's spitting outside, so I'm not selling anywhere, but I'm going to hit some of my typical little shops and see if I can find some stuff that I can sell auction style and flip in about 7 days. I did stop and get myself a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not really a coffee snob, but I usually actually pay 50 cents a cup from the street vendors, but since I'm driving today and not walking, I just pulled into this Dunkin'. I also, I'm gonna try these, I don't know. A friend of mine shops at those big box stores and got a huge, like, I don't know, like 1,000 of these things. I don't know what they are. It says, well, cinnamon and brown sugar, Belvita. You eat these? It sounds like something old people eat. Like if they're constipated, which I'm not. No, I'm kidding. So are these good? I guess I'm about to find out. They were free. Okay, the shop opens in 30 minutes. I like to be in the parking lot early. Let's go.
Congratulations to send. Do it appropriately, inexpensively, with postal telegraph ready-written messages. Sent for 20 cents locally, slightly more nationally. WHN, New York. The following is transcribed.
Nickel, nickel, roody-da-da-da. Nickel, nickel, roody-da-da-da. Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Nickel, nickel, roody-da-da-da. Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much for a nickel, too. Pepsi-Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, nickel, nickel.
WHN, New York. The following is transcribed.
Nickel, nickel, roody-da-da-da. Nickel, nickel, roody-da-da-da. Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much for a nickel, too. Pepsi-Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, nickel, nickel.
The B. Manischewitz Company, world's largest matzo bakers, happily present Yiddish Melodies in Swing. The Bridegroom Special.
That's a lot. Twice as much for a nickel, too. Pepsi-Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, nickel, nickel.
From atop the Lowell State Theater building, your American Jewish Hour. The Bridegroom Special.
Well, not Pyrex, but you know what I mean.
Attention all active members of the military, police, firefighters, and EMT. Here at Goodwood, your police will offer you a 50%
Jump, jump, jump.
7 days a week. Simply present your Valentine checkout our way of saying thank you for your service. Please note that this offer cannot be combined with other special promotions.
It's magic, you know. Sorry. So far, that's it. That is gaudy. A soap dish and like a bathroom water cup. All right, here's a really pretty hand-painted piece. Oops, chip-free. Chip-free. You can definitely see that it is hand-painted. And it is Limoges. It's $2.99. Signed right there by the person who painted it. It is well done, but I'm probably not going to buy it because this kind of thing, for me, just doesn't sell very well. It was a blank that somebody hand painted. I'll think about it, but I'm probably going to leave it right there. I know some of you are screaming at me. 1980s. Happy with my pumpkin. There's a little 1960s thing. What about over here? Nothing. Okay. Now, we all know what this is, but unfortunately, too much paint loss on it. Really nice mid-century, 1960s. Can't use it. Very common. Piggy pig. Now this is interesting, and I'll tell you what I think it is. This is an old frame that's been glooped up with some gold radiator paint. And in the front you have this really nice relief. This is actually celluloid. It looks, I don't know what it looks like to you, but if I peel this back and I tap on it and kind of look at it very closely, it definitely is celluloid. This is the kind of thing that used to be on the front of photo albums from the turn of the century. And if we turn it over to the back, but it's definitely not German. I may try to translate this later, but this is the actual back. And this looks very typical of turn of the century. And obviously this was ripped off of some kind of a book and just framed. So it's pretty. It's $3.99 and I'm not going to buy it. But the relief on the celluloid is really nice. So we'll leave that there. The Last Supper in a frame that's been painted and painted and painted. Not going to buy that either. So I will take my pumpkin and I'll show you this picture frame when I get in the car. Well, you know I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I have to do that while I'm driving to my next spot. So I did not get the hand-painted Limoges piece, really pretty, and it was nicely painted. What was it, $2 or $3? I think it was like $3. You know, that's the kind of thing, some people would buy that, put it online, and they'd put like, you know, $39.99 or something like that, and oh, I'll just let it sit. The reality of it is, for me, is that it just wouldn't sell. There's a lot of very nicely done hand-painted porcelains that, even though it's French Limoges, woo, it just is gonna sit there, and I'm gonna mark it down and mark it down and mark it down, and I'm gonna sell it for $12, and the packing, the shipping. So that's the kind of thing I'm getting away from. In the past, I would have bought that thing and waited a couple of months and made like a $10 profit on it, but I didn't get it. So I got the General Foam jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, which I'm going to show you, and then I hinted at a picture frame. I actually bought 2 frames. They're on the floor, so I'm not going to show them to you now. We're almost at the next spot, and I'll show you when I get there. So thanks for riding along with us. There's no us. That's another thing that's funny to me. It's like when people are by themselves, like I am, and they say, we're gonna see what we can find today. There's no we. I don't have a mouse in my pocket. I know. People say we because they're like including you. You're going with me, so it's us. But it's just me and my Belvitas, which I have not eaten yet, but I'm about to. See you when we get to the next thrift shop. Okay, for $3, I picked up a vintage creche. Now, this actually dates to the Depression era, and we're gonna open you and I are gonna open this together now. I put a hole in it to make it easier for me, because before I leave, I'm too excited. I just have to make sure everybody's here. All right, so let me actually, hold on folks. Let me get this plastic off. I'm excited because I love creche scenes, nativity scenes, and to find an original one, probably made in Italy or Germany in the 1920s or 30s, with all of its pieces, is a great find. All right, let's pull everybody out of here. And I haven't really, oh, there's a chip in the angel's wing. That's okay. Yes, just as I thought. Germany! Fantastic. You can kind of tell the German ones have a different look from the Italian scenes. But let's get everybody out. And then we'll set it all up. Now, I know some of you are looking at it and saying, gosh, it's kind of drab. Well, this is what they looked like. Oh, wow. This is sweet. This is what they looked like in the 1920s and 30s. This was the style. I'm sure this looks horrible because you can't really see. Okay, so there it is. And how do I know it's 1920s, 30s? I know the way this really thick polychromed enamel paint is applied. That's exactly how they used to paint not pole lamps, but bridge lamps. This definitely dates to the 20s. Wow, that is great. See how roughly made it is? All right, let's put this up here. And we're going to begin putting everybody in. Here's Jesus, the baby Jesus, in his manger with a halo. I'm not going to actually, I guess I won't set everybody up. There's Mary. And we can see that some of these are marked Germany. What's really fantastic are the wool-covered animals, which are pretty stained. Let's get him. Look at this. You see this in the 1920s. Isn't that great? And I did see here on the angel, she's marked Germany on the bottom. He or she. Now there is a chip in the top of the wing there. Doesn't bother me at all. This is really going to be great when I get it all set up. Okay, here's one of the kings. Here's another king. Here is Joseph. I'm sorry, the wise men. I'm saying kings. Okay, what a great find. I'm really excited about this. I know I've got everybody crowded in here, but I'll just kind of zoom in and let you see the detail. And it really is in remarkable shape. Sorry I don't have Christmas music playing. So really excited about that. Circa somewhere between 1925 to the early 30s for $3. Really nice. And just in case I didn't make it clear, it's clearly marked Germany on the back, which is what I expected. Very typical of what would have been made in Germany in the 1920s. For $2, I also picked up a Depression-era lusterware lamp. This is lusterware in sort of an orange peachy color with a nice old original socket. I, of course, will rewire it, and it's on a wooden base. Not a great deal of value, but I already have a lamp very similar to this, and you know how much I love old light fixtures. So that's going to be a nice restorable lamp that dates to circa 1930, 1935. Very nice. Looks like cardboard. Nope. No. That tastes like a tissue box dipped in cinnamon. No. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes than eat any more of that. No, thank you. I'll stay constipated. All right, I'm gonna show you a little bit more of the Philadelphia street scene. We're over here in West Philadelphia on the corner of 42nd and Spruce. Getting ready to turn left on Spruce Street, and then we'll go up to 45th to one of my favorite thrift shops. So just enjoy the old architecture that you get in these great old cities. This is the Victorian side of the city, not the colonial side. You know, Philly was founded in the 1680s. So there's a lot of history here. Here's some of the great big old apartment buildings that were built in the 1920s. Here's 45th Street, where we're going to hook a right. Yeah, the ubiquitous row houses, the brick row houses that you see, those are over there actually in the older part of the city. As I said, over here in West Philly, we're mostly looking at construction that was done in the 1850s onward. And oops, there's my shop right there. We'll zoom in on that. The Second Mile Thrift. Let's go see what we can find. Well, I just left the Circle Thrift and I didn't buy anything. I could have. There were about 3 items that I thought about, but again, I held on to my money because they were items that would not turn a very decent profit. Well, as you can see, I am no longer in Center City, Philadelphia. I'm over here in beautiful South Jersey on a cool, rainy, early fall day. And I'm going to show you something that I picked up on my way over in a thrift shop. This is a cabinet card photograph, but what makes it so fantastic, if we zoom in on it, if we just look at that part, we say, okay, there's a father with his 3 kids, kind of sour looking, but that's what folks did in the Victorian days in photographs. You certainly can tell that all 3 little boys have their daddy's downturned mouth. It's interesting that the boy on the right is holding a book, but what makes it really fantastic is that the smallest boy is holding on to a pull toy horse. We can see it has iron wheels on the bottom. And it's in this fantastic mid-Victorian frame with artificial grained paint. This, which looks like wood here, is actually not fancy wood at all, but it's paint. And the inner frame is also painted, gilded. A nice deep frame, typical of Victorian frames from the 1880s. So when we turn it back around to the front, we can also see at the bottom of the cabinet card H. Schumacher, who would have been the photographer at 186 Williams Street, Newark, New Jersey. Probably 1880s, and if it were just a cabinet photograph, it would be worth about $1. Now, I don't know about where you live, but here in the Northeast, these photographs are ubiquitous. And every antique mall you go into has got crates full of these old Victorian photographs, and they usually sell for $1, $2 each. I did pay $4. The frame itself is a good $15 frame. The photograph with the toy horse should sell for between $15 to maybe $25. One recently sold on eBay of a little boy pulling the same type of a toy horse, unframed, and it sold for $25. So I do expect to get somewhere between $15 and $25 just because of the interest of the toy horse. So I wanted to share that with you. And that bird, wherever he is really singing up a storm, or screaming up a storm. Where is he? I don't know, but I hope he finds a worm. back in Philly, and someone is mad because someone licked all the gravy off of someone's food, and now someone doesn't want to eat it. Is that right? All right, so here are, let me turn this off. That didn't work. All right, well anyway, here are the two picture frames I told you I was going to tell you about that I got. Actually, you only saw one, but I kept digging and I found another one. These are probably not leather. They're probably cowhide or rawhide or hide and seek or high tide. They might be leather. But they are probably from the 1940s. And they're nice large frames. Let me back up so you can see them both. And they have really nice silk easels on the back that are in very good shape. They were $2.99 each, but yellow was half price that day, so they were half off. And so I have the two. As I said, what I'm going to do is clean them. They have their original glass. I'll get them all cleaned up. And I will oil this, which is not synthetic. Again, it's either, it very well might be leather. And old picture frames do pretty well for me, and I like these because they're going to look really nice. And that's the General Foam pumpkin that I picked up for $1, stuck in on top of another General Foam, and then that one that's all lit up. And there's the creche with everybody in it, all set up, which I'll put that away until Christmas time. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks for coming along with me on my thrift haul, and join me the next time, won't you? This is Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching, and so long for now.